Have you ever wanted to go on a heartfelt journey in the lives of your loved ones and newfound acquaintances? Do you enjoy listening and engaging in uplifting discussions that leave you motivated and inspired to take action in your own life? This podcast is a space where we have in-depth conversations on family, health, spirituality, entrepreneurship, and well, just plain old life. I'm Jesse DeLeon, and this is my passion. Join me on a walk into the fascinating narratives and meaningful conversations that shape our experiences. Welcome to The Knowing, a Life in Stories podcast. Hello and good day. I'm Jesse DeLeon, and welcome to The Knowing, a Life in Stories. Thank you for being here with me. I'm excited to be here with you. Are you kind? Do you do acts of kindness? And if so, for whom? Do you like acts of kindness done to and for you? What does kindness mean? I guess you can guess the topic for today. And yes, it's on kindness. So let's start with, are you kind? Are you? I'd like to think that I am. And what is, for me, it's important. What I get from being kind is this feeling of joy and the opportunity to be with the person or the people with whom I'm being kind to. And that brings me a sense of I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing, right? Let me give you an example. I was recently visiting my sisters in Mississippi, and I took the whole day by which to do that. One sister, the eldest, she was actually bitten by a snake, a copperhead. She was working it was late in the afternoon, and she decided, I'm just going to go walk and get some fresh air outside and look at my flowers. And as she was looking at her landscaping, she realized that maybe she could do a little raking around her plants. And what she did, and I have to preface the story with my sister about 10 years ago, she had a very minor stroke to which she was not aware of. She recalls when the doctor said, you had a minor stroke maybe about 6 months ago. Do you recall anything specifically that happened? Can you look back and think maybe you didn't feel well, something didn't feel right with you? And so she left his office and she couldn't think. And then when she got home, she thought about something that had happened. There was a great deal of stress that particular day for her, and she felt this tremendous headache. She doesn't get migraines, but she said it just felt like an electrical storm, like zapped her in the head, and it just went all the way down. The shock went all the way down to her toes and fingertips. And about the time she went to the doctor, the reason she went to the doctor was because she started having eye trouble, and she went to her ophthalmologist, and the ophthalmologist sent her to a specialist. And sure enough, she had a tear in her retina, I believe. And some people might say macular degeneration occurred. So when she went to the specialist, that's when they discovered that she had had a stroke and it affected her eyesight. So she really can't see well anymore. She can't drive. She can no longer read. She used to love to read, and she can see objects if they're close to her, but not very clearly. There's like a veil over her eyesight. So that being said, she has never stopped. She still loves to work in her garden. She likes to plant a garden. She enjoys being outdoors. She loves managing her home, cleaning it to the best of her ability from what she can see. And she loves to paint. She'll repaint her living room every 3 months. I don't know how she does it. She does it and she enjoys it. And that goes for her kitchen, her bathroom, her bedroom. She's always doing something creative, and she's super creative. Well, this particular afternoon, it was around 7:30, 7:45. The sun was setting, and she picks up a rake and she starts raking around her flower beds, and What does she do? But rakes a snake onto her foot, and the snake bites her. She didn't quite know what it was at first. And then suddenly she saw something slithering away, and she realized that she had been bitten by a snake. So anyway, of course, the whole family's concerned. I go see her as well as other family members. And on the day after it happened, and now a week later, I go back to see her, and I had already full intentions that I was going to do her hair color, because when I saw her the day after a snake bite, she had a lot of growth and a color, right? So when I got there, I gave her a big hug and I said, Susie, let's do your color. And she's like, oh, great. I'm so excited. So, I did her color, her cut, her blow dry. And the total time I spent with her that morning was 3 hours, and about 3 hours. And I never really see, when I do something like that for my siblings, I don't look at it as work. I don't see it as work. I see it as a way to be able to spend time with them individually. And it's a time to chat each other up and to catch up. So that's what brings me joy about doing acts of kindness for people that I care about, particularly if it's a gift that I have that I can share. I'm so happy to do it. I want to ask you, whom do you do kind things for? Do you have a spouse, a best friend, a sibling, a coworker that you enjoy doing kind things for? They say charity begins in the home, in our own homes. Acts of kindness, to me, charity is an act of kindness. So when we take the time to do something for our families, it's really, really, really special. And I think oftentimes we forget how special it is to see something that needs to be done for someone who is having trouble doing it, accomplishing it, achieving it, getting motivated to do it. And I feel it's our duty to the people that we love, and even to ourselves, to seek out something we could do, an act of kindness we can do for a family member. Oftentimes we forget. I don't know, do we forget, or do we just get so caught up in our lives that we can't see that when someone that we care about needs our help, needs our assistance? Another example, I went to my sister Delinda's after that, and her yard person had been there, but it started raining and he didn't get a chance to finish the cleaning up of the yard, right? The raking. So when I drove up, I just thought, wow, Delinda mustn't like this. She's so particular about her lawn, and all there was is her lawn was covered with dead grass. So that was in the evening when I got to her house, and I saw that. So I just, in my mind, I said, you know what? I'm going to get up really early and I'm going to go out there and rake that up for her. Well, I woke up early, and she was already up and she was preparing coffee. So we sat and talked, and I said, let's go outside and sit on your front porch and get some vitamin D, direct sunlight onto our skin, on it, into our eyes as the sun rises. It's the best time of the day to do that. And oftentimes we don't get enough vitamin D, side note, because we've been so conditioned now to be afraid of the sun, to wear tons of sunscreen if we are in the sun, to cover up. But don't you notice that all the talks about how we're so vitamin D deficient? It's because we've been convinced that the sun is bad for us. And yes, everything is bad for us in when it's not in moderation, right? So the sun is so good to nourish our bodies, our health with the vitamin D that we get from the sun. So get up early in the morning, take your cup of coffee outside, and get about 20, 30 minutes of sun in the morning if you can. When I'm at my family's homes in the country, that's what I like to do. And I set a timer so I don't get too much sun either, right? Keeping it in moderation. So we went outside and sat and had a great talk. And then after our coffee, I said, "Hey, where's your rake? I want to rake up your rake some of your yard and get to as much as I can at least." And she was so excited. And I didn't do that because I wanted the accolade. I did that because my sister's husband died 3 years ago and he got sick. But before he got sick, he used to do all of that for her. He would take out the garbage. He would mow the lawn. He would weed eat. He would bush hog the fields when they had the house in the country. And I know now that she struggles with having to have the responsibility now to do those things which her husband used to do for her. And I can tell that it stresses her out. It's a big struggle for her. It's not that she can't do it. It's that she's having to learn how to do it. Do you have someone like that in your life? Someone that could really use your help? I'm going to urge you and ask you to consider if there's someone in your life, a neighbor even, that you see is struggling with a simple task or a very difficult task. Find it in your heart, in your spirit, to help. It's so easy to ignore because what we say to ourselves is we have so many things on our plate. I have my own kids. I have my own family. I have my own spouse. I have my own, obligations. But surely there is time in the day to help. And not only are they going to feel good, this act of kindness that you are exhibiting towards them, it's going to really help. Not only is it going to brighten their day, but it's going to really help. I see the struggle my sister Susie has without her eyesight. She does have a husband. And when he comes home from work, he doesn't want to do the lawn work. He doesn't want to have to take out the garbage. He wants to take a shower. He's had a long day. He works out in the elements, right? So he's exhausted. And she understands that. So she's happy to do what she can. She can't do what she used to do and keep a pristine home, a pristine lawn, but she tries and she gives it her best. But there are times that there are things she cannot do. And it means a lot to her when someone does offer to help. Now, she will not ask you to help her, nor will my sister Delinda or any of my other sisters who have their challenges or difficulties or struggles doing certain things around their home. But it means a lot. And it really is a true show of how to exhibit and show sacrificial love. And sacrificial love is doing that for someone whom you love and who you have to take the time to make the effort to help. And I just want to urge you to consider that. Not only will it make them feel good and help them in areas where they need help, it's going to make you feel good. I promise you, it's going to help you. It's even going to build your confidence. It's interesting to look at it that way, but whenever we feel good, whenever we have those bouts of dopamine hits, rush, it helps in so many ways, but it helps me to just walk a little bit more tall, to have that pep in my step when I can do something for someone that I love and care about. Do you struggle with allowing people to do kind things for you? I know a lot of people that do that. I sometimes struggle to have someone do something kind for me. Oftentimes, I don't ask for help, even when I do need it. And we have to be careful because there's a fine line between being humble and having our ego get the best of us. And that's never good. In fact, it brings people joy, people in your life joy, when you do ask for help. I know that if I do happen to ask a friend or a sibling for help, they are so quick to say, yes, I'll be there. What time? When? Where? How do you need me? And that does feel good, but I allow my ego to get in the way sometimes, and I don't ask for it. And who loses? We do. So don't lose. Say yes. Ask for the help. More than likely, people will be so ready, at the ready, to help, lend a helping hand. I want to give you the definition for kindness. Kindness. It is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. It also means doing a helpful and caring act for someone else. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. I'm going to fall in love with that word, especially when I am on the receiving end of a kind act. Be kind, show kindness. Just as important, receive acts of kindness for people who are at the ready to give it to you. I hope this helps. I hope it inspires you today to step out, help someone, help an elderly person walk across the street. If you see someone's lawn that needs to be raked, if you have the time, do it. If someone you work with, you see them struggling with something, lend a helping hand. It's going to make you feel better. If this episode spoke to you, please share it. Please write a review. Give me the 5 stars. I want to remind you that you can watch the video version of this on my YouTube channel. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Until next time, please keep praying for me as I will continue to pray for you. I love you.